Students, we are going to talk about female reproductive system, or rather a human female reproductive system. The reproductive system of a female is made up of many parts together, the external genitalia whereas the internal genitalia, right? But before we start with any of those, let us learn about the most important sex organ in a body of a female, and it is the ovary. The ovary is called as the primary female sex organs. The basic sex organs in a female is said to be ovaries, because this is the place from where the gametogenesis or formation of gametes are going to take place. Without this part of the organ in a human female body, right, the reproductive system won't be functioning, right? Let us understand why. The female or the functions of the ovary are: the number one function is to produce an egg or an ovum, which is necessary for the process of fertilization. At the same time, it produces human female reproductive hormones, which are very necessary for the overall development of a body of a female, as well as the proper functioning of the reproductive organs of the female body. It affects the overall growth of a female too, right? The shape or how do the ovaries look like? They look like an oval shape or an almond shape. The egg is most probably oval in shape, but they are too big to describe an ovary. Ovaries are very small. The shape is like an oval or an almond, right? The length of ovary is some 3 centimeters. The breadth is 1.5 centimeters, and the thickness is nearly 1 centimeter. Now you can use the scale which you use in your compass, and you can find out that the ovaries are very small organs in a reproductive system. Now they are present in the upper waist, correct? So it is present in the upper lateral part, right, of pelvic region near the kidneys. So they are very closely located near to the kidneys, right? They are held in position by ligaments, right? The ovaries are staying in a position, that is, they will not leave their position, right? They will remain in the place because of certain ligaments which held them or which hold them in a proper position. The ligaments do the work of attaching or supporting the ovary, right, or attaching the ovary to the uterus as well as the abdominal walls. So the ovary is attached to the uterus, at the same time it is attached to the abdominal wall. So now 2 ligaments holding it, so it will not move from its position. The largest ligament hold, that is peritoneum, that is the innermost body wall of the female body. It is the largest ligament which will hold 3 organs together, right? And those 3 organs are the ovary, the oviducts and the uterus. All these 3 organs of the female body are held with peritoneum, and the peritoneum attaches these 3 organs to the dorsal body wall, that is the back of a female body. The ovarian ligaments attaches the ovary to the uterus. You know that oviducts are already attached to the ovary. Oviducts are already attached to uterus. The ovaries are also attached to the uterus by certain ligaments. Then the ovary produces 5 hormones, 5 most important hormones. The first one is estrogen, the second progesterone, relaxin, the activin and the inhibin hormone. We start with human female reproductive system, and in this female reproductive system we are going to learn about different reproductive organ of a female reproductive system. We begin with ovary, and ovary is called as, or we are going to study the primary structure of the ovary. I am talking about the ovary in an unborn child, right? A baby girl who is in her embryonic stage of development and is not yet born. What are the changes, or how does the primary ovary development take place? That is what we are going to study here. Now, the primary structure of ovary is an ovary of an infant or a baby girl in her embryo stage of development. Let us see how does the ovary look like then, right? The ovary in an unborn female infant is a compact structure, right? It is having many different types of cells in it, but they are compact, closely packed, right? So it is a compact structure, and the structure can be divided into two parts. That is, the outer part is called as cortex, whereas the inner part is called as inner, or the central part of the ovary is called as medulla. Let us begin from the medulla region of the ovary. The medulla of the ovary has loose connective tissue. The cells in this connective tissues are loosely packed. They are not compact, or they are not close together. So they are loose, and so it is called as loose connective tissue. With it, there are presence of blood vessels, lymph vessels, and nerve fibers. So what are the things that are present in medulla? It is the loosely packed connective tissue, the nerve fibers, the blood vessels, and the lymph vessels. Now let us look into the cortical region of an infant or a fetus, a baby girl in her fetal stage. The cortex is more granular, correct? It looks like small beads or grains present into it, right? But these grains are small ovarian follicles. Actually, these grains are nothing but the ovarian follicles, right? The mature ova, right? How does the immature ova, right? This immature ova in her ovary is derived or is formed from the yolk sac or the dorsal endoderm of the yolk sac. So, how is the immature ova formed? It is formed from the dorsal endoderm of yolk sac. Now, when a mother is pregnant, first she develops a zygote. After the fertilization, the zygote multiplies and forms three layers, that is ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. I am talking about the layer that is endoderm, and from that endoderm, that is the dorsal endoderm of the yolk sac, the immature ovas are formed, right? Then these ovas migrate towards the gonadal ridge, and during embryonic development, so the baby girl is still in her embryo form, right? And when she is still an embryo, the immature ovas are migrating towards the gonadal ridge, correct? So now this, during the embryo development, as the immature ova migrate towards the gonadal ridge, the cells are, as and how they migrate, they mature, and they are now called as oogonia, correct? They are called as oogonia. They grow in size as they migrate, right? And they get surrounded by a granulosa cell, correct? So if this is an egg cell, right, they get surrounded with a follicle, and this follicle is lined by granulosa cells. So these are the cells which are granulosa cells. So this is the rudiment of ovarian follicle, the beginning stage of formation of an ovarian follicle, right? Now let me highlight, oogenesis starts before the birth of the baby. That is, formation of oogonias or egg cells starts before the girl is born, correct? So still she is in the womb of the mother, right? So at the end of 12 weeks, correct? I am talking about some 2 months and 2 weeks time, or some 2 months and some 4 weeks time, or 3 months approximately, 12 weeks, when the embryo is 12 weeks old, the ovary is fully formed, right? The baby girl, the ovary is fully formed and contains some 2 million primordial follicles, right? Now the baby is still in the mother's womb. She is just 12 weeks old, and she already has a fully formed ovary, and that ovary has some 2 million primordial follicles. Students, we already saw that embryo, an infant embryo, that is when a girl child is still in the mother's womb, and when she is just 12 weeks old, she already has 2 million primordial follicles in her ovary. Now let us see how these primordial follicles are formed, right? The cells of the germinal epithelium, right? The innermost lining of the ovary is called as germinal epithelium, right? This germinal epithelium gives rise to the group of oogonia, right? So what is the work of this germinal epithelium? It gives rise to oogonias, right? These oogonias form cords which project towards the cortex. So you can see the cords form and they are projecting, or they are going towards the cortical regions, and these cords are called as egg tubes, or they are also known as pea flippers. And at the end of the cords you see a mass of cells, right? And those mass of cells are called as egg nest, correct? Now this egg nest is primordial ovarian follicle, correct? So the primordial ovarian follicle develops here, correct? So the nest then gets developed into a primordial ovarian follicle. Now this primordial ovarian follicle is made up of a central big cell which is called as primary oocyte, correct? It is called as primary oocyte, and it has diploid number of chromosomes. It has 2 sets of chromosomes, and surrounding this big cell are single layer of follicular cells. Now this oocytes, right, that undergoes meiosis or reduction division or mitotic division or meiotic division, but the meiosis gets arrested at the metaphase 1. So what is happening is the oocyte is formed. A primordial ovarian follicle is having a centrally placed primary oocyte which is diploid. This oocyte is surrounded by single layer of follicular cells, right? The oocyte then undergoes reduction division or meiosis or meiotic division, and the meiosis begins, but then the meiosis stops at meiosis 1. You already know that meiosis takes place in 2 phases, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. So only meiosis 1 is not yet completed. The meiosis is arrested or stopped at that particular stage. So fetal ovary, or the ovary of a fetus inside the mother's womb, is already having 2 million primordial follicles. You just saw how the primordial follicle is formed, right? This primordial follicle, right, there are 2 million primordial follicles in fetal ovary. Fetal means the fetal stage, that is till the child is in the mother's womb, right? 1 million remain, only 1 million remain at birth. That means once the baby is born, baby girl is born, only 1 million primordial follicles are remaining. But then only 40,000 remain at the age of puberty. That is when the girl is capable of reproducing. Only 40,000 of the primordial follicles are there in her ovary now. Now you can see there is a large destruction of the primordial follicles. Very rapid destruction can be seen from 2 millions to 40,000 which remains at the puberty. This large destruction of the primordial follicle, the process is called as atresia, correct? Now let us know what happens when a girl attains her puberty. As soon as the girl gets her first menstrual cycle, her first period, we say that the girl has attained her reproductive age, right? Where in that particular age or during the menstrual cycle, one of the primordial follicle develops into a Graafian follicle. A single primordial follicle out of 40,000, only a single primordial follicle will develop into a Graafian follicle, a mature Graafian follicle. During each menstrual cycle, one primordial follicle develops into a Graafian follicle. So a girl has 2 ovaries, right? So one ovary at a time, right? One of the ovary will be active at a time, For example, if this month the left ovary, inside that left ovary, if the primordial follicle has matured to a Graafian follicle, the next month during the next menstrual cycle, the other ovary, that is the right ovary, one of the primordial follicle will develop into a Graafian follicle. Means the ovaries take their turns to put or to convert one primordial follicle into a Graafian follicle. Right? One ovary at a time will release one primordial follicle which will get converted into Graafian follicle. Now the first menstrual cycle, that is the onset of the periods, that means the beginning of the periods in a girl, is called as menarche. That is the age of 13. It is an approximate age. Some girls may attain this menarche early and some may take their own time, but on an average the menarche stage starts at the age of 13, right? That is the first period of the girl, and it ends at the age of 45 to 50 years, right? It takes its time to slowly stop, and that particular period is called as menopause, right? That means menarche marks the beginning of the reproductive age and menopause means the end of the reproductive age. So from menarche to menopause, the girl's reproductive age is of 32 years. In this 32 years, she can give birth to a child. That is what her reproductive age is, right? On an average, if you consider, a menstrual cycle is about of 28 days, right? In a year, a girl will have 13 menstrual cycles. So if you multiply those 13 by the 32 years, you get the answer as 416 eggs. That means during her lifetime, in her reproductive years, the woman utilizes only 416 eggs out of the 40,000 that were present at the time of puberty. So this is in all how a primary ovary or the development inside the primary ovary takes place. Now let's see how a mature female ovary looks like, right? So we are going to see the insides of a mature female ovary. That is, when a girl attains a puberty, what does the ovary look like from within, correct? So the ovary shows the changes that are seen in mature ovary. The changes are mainly taking place in the cortical region, right? We already saw the medulla has only loose connective tissue, blood vessels, the lymph vessels and the nerve fibers. But the interesting events that takes place in a mature ovary are in the cortical region, right? That is this region of the ovary, that is the cortex of the ovary. Now what changes do you see? You see the stages of development of oocytes are seen, right? If you look at the cortical region, you see that the oocytes are in different stages of their development, right? You see this particular development taking place in the cortical region, right? Changes in the ovary are cyclic. Whatever changes you see inside the ovary are cyclic. That involves first the maturation of primordial follicle. The primordial follicle starts to maturate. That is, if it is a menstrual time, then the primordial follicle slowly develops into primary follicle. Primary follicle will develop into a secondary follicle, and the secondary follicle will develop into a Graafian follicle. Let us see how that happens. So primordial follicle is having an oocyte at the center and a single layer of follicular cells. As in how the primordial cell matures to a primary follicle, you can see that the oocyte has enlarged in size. It is occupying the centermost position, correct? And around the oocyte you see several layers of follicular cells, and now we call it as a primary follicle. As this primary follicle matures into secondary follicle, what changes do you see? This egg cell or the oogonia again is matured takes the centermost position. The number of follicular cells, the layers of the follicular cells increase in number, and you can see an external layers of cells which forms the theca of the follicle, right? The external theca and the inner theca, right? The covering layer which are actually secreted by the vitelline membrane. Now you can see the secondary follicle maturing into a Graafian follicle. A Graafian follicle will show a centrally placed or eccentric nucleus, right? Not exactly at the center. It will occupy some place at a side, correct? It will show a presence of layers of follicular cells inside, and you also see the layers of cells outside, which are the layers of theca, right? Then this Graafian follicle undergoes ovulation. So in the menstrual cycle, every 14th day, the Graafian follicle ruptures. It gives out an egg inside the oviduct or in the abdominal cavity of a female, after which the egg enters into the oviduct, correct? And when the egg or the Graafian follicle ruptures, the process is called as ovulation, because the egg is given out into the abdominal cavity of a female, right? So after ovulation, whatever is left behind, the empty shell with multicellular structure, gets converted into a temporary endocrine gland, a yellowish colored mass called as corpus luteum, right? It will secrete an hormone called as progesterone to maintain the pregnancy. That is, it will wait till the time of fertilization takes place. If fertilization takes place, it will continue to stay, correct? But in case if fertilization does not take place, then the same follicle now gets converted into a white colored structure called as corpus albicans, and that marks the start or the beginning of the next or the bleeding phase, right? So this was the histology of a mature ovary, of a mature female. Let us talk about structure of Graafian follicle. You know that Graafian follicle is a mature form of primordial follicle. The primordial follicle matures into Graafian follicle. Now let us see how the Graafian follicle looks like. The Graafian follicle is a mature ovarian follicle, right? It is the mature form of the ovarian follicle. It is eccentric. It has eccentric secondary oocyte. Now you can see this is an oocyte and it is not occupying the center position. It has moved away from the center, and this particular position is called as eccentric position, correct? It is surrounded by non-cellular layer which is called as zona pellucida. If you can see this layer around it, it is a non-cellular layer. You cannot see any cells in that, and so it is called as zona pellucida. And this layer is secreted by the vitelline membrane of the egg or the ovum or the oocyte. Outermost protective and fibrous covering are divided into two parts, that is theca externa and theca interna. So the outermost layer is protective and it is fibrous. If you can see, this is an outermost layer, correct? And the outermost layer is divided again into two parts. The outermost is the theca externa, inner to it is theca interna, and it is a protective layer and it is a fibrous covering, right? Follicular cells form membrana granulosa. So all these follicular cells are now called as membrana granulosa. Membrana granulosa differentiates into discus polygris and corona radiata. Now this layer, which is called as membrana granulosa, gets divided into two parts, that is discus polygris and corona radiata. So this is discus polygris and those cells are called as corona radiata. Oocyte and the surrounding granulosa cells are called as cumulus oosporus, correct? So the oocyte, right, this is the oocyte, and all the cells around it together are called as cumulus oosporus. Then there is a fluid filled cavity inside, right? You can see this cavity and it is filled with a fluid. This cavity is called as enterum and the fluid inside it is called as liquor folliculi. So this in short is the structure of a mature Graafian follicle.